I think we had the Center for Hope in our home.
So it was in your home first. Okay.
And I think by the end of 2000, we got able to come into this place.
And that's because of the Jerry DeFlippo.
Because Jerry, has allowed us to be here, which is great.
That is wonderful. He's a great guy.
He's a wonderful guy. Yeah.
But when had you established it in your home?
Probably in late '99. We had two friends, a guy who was a former FBI guy, who had actually just retired, and he wasn't still working for the FBI.
He wasn't. Well, when he first met him, he was still working.
His wife was a social worker, and they got talking to us about, establishing something, and they were involved with the Council of Community, that's what they called it at the time, Council of Community Services, which is a New York State program.
Should I mention their names? They were the two who got the wheels turning. What were their names? The guy, the former FBI?
Jim Keverly.
Jim and Gene Keverly. He was a representative to that group from the FBI at that point. So.
Okay.
So and they helped us to work towards getting our not-for-profit status, because that's a big thing. I mean, that's such a rigmarole to go through, all the hoops you got to jump through, and the forms and the lawyers and all this nonsense. We never would have been able to do it without them and the Council for Community Services.
All right, and what about the name that you chose, the Center for Hope, Healing Our Painful Emotions? Who came up with that?
Actually, I think the Keverlys helped us come up with that, and then they were trying to come up with what hope could mean, and she kept coming up with healing our painful, and she could never come up with anything for E, and I came up with emotions. So we finally got that together, but it was Gene Keverly that did that.
Wonderful.
And
somebody comes up and says, we haven't forgotten about Suzanne. We think about her often, or you're on our prayer list. That's
so the
comforting.
prayer. I was going to ask you what was seeing you through, whether it was family, friends, faith. Has faith played a big role in knowing that people are praying?
I think that it's more the the community support, the support through the state police have been tremendous.
So the state police have been tremendous. They've continued to support you and stay in touch.
The investigation is open, and we feed them information that comes through us, leads. And
is this the same person on the case who was on it in '98?
There's only one that's still involved.
Can I have the name? Because I do think I want to.
He actually was in the Discover thing. John Camp.
John Camp.
Yeah, I thought. Okay.
And he was there. He was kind of there as a fill-in in '98 anyway, but he was part of
the colony office or whatever of the state police.
Troop G.
Troop G.
Yeah.
G.
Troop G and Latham. They're now in Latham.
So he was able and still is able to follow it right from the get-go, right from day one.
When her room was, opened, I don't know if it was the RA that opened her room or whatever, but her dorm room at college. Her hairdryer was on the bed. Her computer was on. Money was on top of it.
Were you allowed into her room the day you got the call? Were you allowed to actually set foot in your daughter's room?
You didn't get in there.
It was a few days later.
You weren't allowed in, or you didn't ask to go in? Yeah.
Boy.
You thought she was.
See, because I don't think the first day I went down there, I went right to the safety office.
Okay.
Because by that time the RA had gone in and found out she wasn't in the room, so it wasn't maybe till the following day that I actually got in her room.
But you were the ones who alerted the RA that she was missing. How did that? Because you got the call from the boyfriend.
Here's what happened.
Okay.
The boyfriend couldn't do business down there because he wasn't a relative. I mean, when he went to the safety office, they wouldn't give him the time of day because he wasn't related. And when I called the RA, they had to go through a bunch of rigmarole so he could even open the door because of privacy issues. So it probably wasn't until an hour or two later that he was actually able to go in and determine that
So
she
all
wasn't there.
these
Because I thought
minutes,
maybe
the
she
clock's ticking
maybe
with
she
all
fell
this-
down.
Yes,
hit her
yes.
head. Who knows? Had a seizure.
Right.
Anything could have happened. So we needed to rule that out, and it took a while to to really have that happen. So there were the whole process was delayed, and I think that time is the enemy in these situations, because if there was any sort of evidence or witnesses, they could have been long gone. People come and go from the campus there. They're traveling, so there could have been things that were lost that could have been very crucial.
Okay.
One of the things we're interested in doing, and we've been working on for past, seems like years and years, is to get a program going, a Rad Kids program.
You meet our guy over here, Bob.
Yeah,
That's Bob. That's what the kids.
Oh, that's Bob.
Call him Adolf, but
The kids call him Adolf. Yeah.
He's the
he's a
attacker.
mean-looking guy.
Yeah, isn't he? Well, I'll tell you, when Doug first dressed him up there, and I walked in the room,
He does look kind of mean.
I just took me
He's got a
back. I
mean
said, "Who the
face.
heck
He's got a
is
mean
this?" But that's Bob anyway. Bob is the guy that the kids learn how to beat on in order to get away from a predator. This program is good for kids from preschool to age 12. And it's like a 4-week program, a couple hours every week. And they really learn how to empower themselves.
How to keep themselves safe in a lot
And
of
how to
different
keep
areas.
them safe.
It's all on.
And that's one of the things I
prevention.
admired the most about you, is that you, despite your loss and what you've been coping with, that you still dig deep and are always searching for ways to prevent another, mom and dad from going through
bad things
what
from
you've
happening.
gone through, and that
Yeah.
And this
and are going through.
Rad Kids has, I don't know how many documented saves they have now, but
Wow.
there's
Oh, yeah.
I'll definitely go to the website
probably
and find out.
probably over 100. And they can kind of document and kids will say, yeah, I did this because of what I learned in Rad Kids. By the way, one of the things we're working on now, this is our big project, is to put information on drink coasters.
Okay, where are these going to be going out?
Well, in the Capital District,
Yes.
it's going to be a pilot. We've been working with DeCrescenti, the drink distributor from Mechanicville, and Jim Tedesco. Our target now date is to get this out by September. So it would be, like a small group of missing persons that will display and get
Okay.
around to bars and restaurants in the area.